Welcome to the Oil Stream right here on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Tune in, iHeartRadio, as well as those watching on YouTube. My name is Matt Iwanyk. That over there is Tom Gazzola. We're live from the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen studio here on the West End. Here on the Oil Stream is on the show today. We'll catch up with Ryan Holt in about 15 minutes' time. He's the voice of the Bakersfield Condors down in Bakersfield, the Edmonton Oilers farm team in the American Hockey League. We'll get his thoughts on the Oilers offseason, if changing things up with the Condors. His thoughts on Borgo's season this year, as he was traded to Ottawa, and a few other things. We'll catch up with him. We also want to hear from you. Parish Jewelers inbox, 780-218-9999. You could also jump into the nasty chat on YouTube. We need an outdoor studio. I'm just going to say that right now.
We have the capability. But we tried on the amenities floor of our building for post-game Game 7. And something, I don't know if there was too many, because we have that portable internet thing. It worked on the pregame, postgame, I don't know. But we have...
It's 30 degrees right now with the Humidex 33. I want to be outside. I don't want to be inside in air conditioning.
It's very, very temperate and cool in here.
I don't like it. I like being hot.
You're the one who made it like 20.
No, because you guys need it. But no, we actually have no control over this because this room's not even that cold. It's because my office is freezing because it's connected to the other person's office.
This is a bizarre, old industrial office building.
No, I don't want it. Look, I have air conditioning. I use the air conditioning a little bit. My air conditioning never set that low, though. I know everyone else likes to be cool in the summer, and I know most people don't like this heat. Personally, I love just being outside sweating and all this. And I would love to just be doing this show outside with the sun pounding on our faces and sweating away and talking some hockey.
On the hangout, I was thrown off by you saying, "Oh, I don't have a good line of sun and on my balcony." You have a great balcony.
I never said that. I just said I haven't been in the sun enough.
I went to the amenities floor the other day to read. Plus, my back needed a little kiss of the sun, and there was a lot of people out there tanning. It's a great place. It's very social.
Well, that amenities floor probably gets sun as early as, depending where you are, 11 o'clock in the morning, I think.
Yeah.
I get it on my balcony about 2:30.
That's not bad.
Yeah, but it just misses that heat, the high heat for the good tans. Oh, I didn't even check with Jay's feet afterwards. My flip-flop tan is way better than Jay's.
I have
His feet are not as tanned as mine are, like the toes and the rest of the feet. Mine looks way better.
I have a monster sock.
Do you?
Ankle sock tan, yeah.
See, I don't want the ankle sock. I want a good flip-flop tan. That's how I know I've had a decent summer, if I have a good flip-flop tan where it matches. But I haven't tanned at all this year. I got
a little bit, but I burn. I don't have the capability to tan. I just burn. I need to work on that a little bit, but yeah. Anyway, beautiful day out there, a little smoky. Hopefully those wildfires, I know there's a couple that I saw CTV put out further up north. There's one kind of out of control. I think it was a small town had to evacuate. Hopefully everybody's okay and no property damage, but that's what happens. It's a good thing we got the moisture in April and May.
Well, Edmonton did.
But there were parts of the province. Our province is huge. Anyway, we're here to talk hockey.
We're here to talk hockey. Well, we don't have to. We can talk about a lot of other things.
Yeah, sure.
Even though it is the Oil Stream.
It's deep off season, man.
Well, the big thing that's now coming from the Oilers, it sounds like 10 days. Within 10 days of them getting a general manager.
Yeah, I've been hearing that too.
It's looking like, it feels like it's going to be Stan Bowman.
You think it's going to be Stan Bowman?
I think when you have, I forgot what I got to pull it up here. I don't want to get it wrong. The Sheldon Kennedy
gave him the blessing.
Gave the report, a respect group, spoke about the work he's done. He gave the blessing. I'm not here to say anything against Sheldon Kennedy. He's the largely the go-to in hockey when it comes to these things.
Yes.
But just because one person says it's okay doesn't mean it's okay, in my mind. No matter how much Sheldon Kennedy has done. I understand that there's a lot of heat still around Stan Bowman. A lot of people, you look at the tweets of that tweet that came out yesterday from Respect Group, that's cool that he got, he's rehabilitated, did all this. Doesn't mean you have to be in the National Hockey League anymore. You could still go work as a bank teller. You could go work as anything else. Hockey, the NHL specifically, this is the privilege. and you blew it by completely dropping the ball in the worst possible way the last time, that you could have done your rehabilitation, but that doesn't mean you're owed a second chance in this league, in the National Hockey League. Go somewhere else. Go do something else in life. That's where you can get your second chance. But it just seems with that coming out, and there's just a few other people talking and defending Stan Bowman out there, that to me the smoke is being created so that they're laying the groundwork so that next week or the week after, the Edmonton Oilers are announcing a press conference that Stan Bowman's the new general manager of this hockey team.
Perhaps. That might happen. I don't think it's a particularly great idea because of perception, and perception's a big thing, and more eyes than ever right now are on this organization and franchise. And if what I understand is what Jeff Jackson's looking for, it probably wants the best guy possible that could ride shotgun with him. Listen, this is by and large Jeff Jackson's team. As we've clearly seen, he makes the big calls as the CEO of the organization. I do feel like there are other viable candidates out there that would fill the role just fine. And this, we're not talking about the guy who's probably going to be dealing with the McDavid, Draisaitl, and Bouchard extensions. That's going to be that's going to be Jeff Jackson's baby. So if Stan Bowman's there, this is hypothetical. It would be more in a support role, day-to-day nuances of being a GM. We're seeing the evolution. I say it time and time again, the evolution of front offices and a 1-2 punch, if you will. I point to Vancouver and Jim Rutherford and Patrick Alvin. You look at Vegas with George McPhee and Kelly McCrimmon. Like, George McPhee, if you think he just stepped aside for Kelly McCrimmon,
he's not rubber stamping things.
No,
he's of course doing that.
All it was an elevation and promotion in title, and those two are still operating the way they did when they took over the Golden Knights in 2017.
Yeah,
it's
almost
going.
like George McPhee. He gets to get the final say, but he doesn't have to do the work.
Yeah.
Jeff Jackson, he could outline to whoever the GM is, go do this. This is how I want things done. I will do the final say, but I ain't doing any of the work.
Yeah.
You make the calls. You deal with that stuff.
Yep.
And that's where I just don't understand why for the Oilers would you go about. You don't need this PR headache.
Exactly.
For a role that is a caretaker role.
Yes. Day to day, you're handling the nitty gritty, if you will. Zedmo says it in the nasty chat. Stan Bowman, do they need the drama? Do we need the drama? No. Honestly, no. I don't know Stan Bowman. I'm sure he's got his good personality traits. Obviously, what happened and when he was at the helm of the Hawks and all of that, not good. That's awful, clearly. There's probably other people out there that could do the job.
And I will say this, if you are getting the approval from Sheldon Kennedy, you've done some work. Sheldon Kennedy isn't going to sit there and give anything, just for the sake of hockey's sake.
Right.
Gary Bettman's not calling Sheldon Kennedy and be like, we need this for hockey, and him going, okay, sure, I'll just do. Like,
no.
There was actual work done. So I will give Stan Bowman credit then for trying to better himself. I fully credit to that. But I just go back to that doesn't mean, though, you're guaranteed a spot in the best hockey league in the world. That's the privilege of things. You could go work in other businesses. You can go work in other things. And Trev, are you okay with that by yourself, or do you need help? Okay. Thanks, guys. Just making sure. Trev's taking his air conditioner away.
Oh, big boy.
Good luck putting that up.
Good luck.
Keep us posted. Will do. Yeah, thank you.
Make sure your room is comfortable, especially if you have company. Oh, yeah. I've experienced where the AC went down. I had company. I don't think she was too happy.
Is he struggling?
Are you laughing at him? What are you munching on, Zach the Cop?
I'm eating pineapples behind the screen here. Yeah. No, he struggled opening the door a little bit. He's got the big box. Big AC box, because yesterday on the Nielsen show, 300 likes, and then glue guy Jay Milne bought Trev an AC unit, a personal AC unit. Mm-hmm. 8,000 kilowatt, or I don't know. BTUs. BTUs, yeah.
We'll see if he can install it. I stand by that. I think. I stand by that. It'll get in the window, but nothing will surround it, and the hot air is still going to keep creeping in. It'll cool down a little bit, but it's not going to be worked at its max efficiency and all that. Sorry for that sidetrack.
No,
that's He. I just didn't know if he needed help with that or not, because I think Glue Guy and Surveyor Brett brought it up together or something. I don't know. So
it is a big unit. Penner's Pancake says, wait, so if YTT's apartment is too hot, does he bring his lady friend back to EST Studios?
It is cool in here now.
It is very comfortable.
Just stay out of my office.
Gotta love
my
the
office.
off-season.
It's my office.
Oh, I know. I went in for a sticky note yesterday. What are you doing in there?
Well, why are you going in my office?
Because you're the only one who has sticky notes.
Right, but I don't know what you're doing in my office. I didn't know that you're going for a sticky note.
I was going to go and sit.
I don't know if you're going to take, if you need
sit
something.
in your
I don't know.
chair.
Are you going to go take a shirt? I need to know if you're taking a shirt.
No, I would tell you about that.
Well, I just wanted to be. I was just curious.
One day I'm just going to go and lift the desk.
Well,
to a height that you're uncomfortable
one day I'm just
with.
going to go. I'm going to, because we don't have a lock on it. Well, there's a lock on it, but we don't have a key for it. One day I'm just going to replace that, and it's going to start getting locked.
Nobody goes in there.
And I'll make sure that happens.
Oh my God, you were paranoid.
Yes, I am. Well, because now I just had one simple question of, hey, what do you need from my office? Why are you going to my office?
I'm
getting ripped on this.
Sticky note.
And then I was fine. I left. I didn't say anything. I was like, no, you can't have that. I didn't come running over. Like, I'll give it to you. I was like, oh, cool. And then I left to go do my errand that I had to go run. But now I'm just getting ripped for asking and just being curious why you're walking into my office.
VR Montenegro says, do it on Maddie's desk. Yes, thank you, Michael. I hope YTT, if he is successful tonight, and brings her back here because he cannot install his own AC in his place, comes back here and goes onto Maddie's desk.
Locking it tonight. I'll pick the lock on Monday to get back in.
Penner's Pancakes also says, do like Jim did to Dwight, move Maddie's desk 2 inches every time. He's got one of those like stand-up desks that you can lift up, move.
Yeah, I'll know.
He would know. This guy is...
No, when things get moved, like if you move that 2 inches, I'd know immediately. It wouldn't feel right.
I wouldn't. I had a great conversation in your office on the couch with Gene yesterday. Gene called.
Awesome.
And it was very comfortable. It was quiet in there. It was very peaceful.
Awesome. I'm glad. That makes me happy.
It was just good to hear from Gene.
We need to get back on the hangout.
Yeah, we should. He's got tennis coming up, but outside of that, he's back, baby. He's back.
What do you mean he's got tennis coming up? Playing or going?
No, he's got to cover tennis.
Oh, is he going to go do the whatever it's called now?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the Bank of
whatever
Canada or whatever it is.
Whatever
out
it's
in
called now.
Toronto, Montreal.
Used to be the Rogers Open or whatever. Yeah.
Oh, he's getting to cover that?
Yeah, he's
good for him.
Well, they're forcing him to.
I'd assume he kind of wants to.
No, he doesn't.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
He'd rather be at home.
Like another person having to cover another league in this city.
Mm-hmm.
Are we ready?
Yeah.
I just didn't know if you have it fully framed. Let's get to our guest.
Yes,
today.
let's get to
He's the
Holty.
voice of the Bakersfield Condors. It is Ryan Holt joining us here on the Oil Stream. Ryan, you're with Iwanyk, Tom Gazzola. How are things down in Bakersfield? We're scorching hot here today for us. So what's the temp like in Bakersfield? Oh.
Holty, unmute yourself. Oh, yeah. Oh. He's not muted. Fix it, Zach, to come.
I don't know.
All right.
Could you try reloading there? We'll get you back on. Sorry about that.
I blame
so I
Zach.
guess we'll go back to what is the? I got to quickly. I don't know my Celsius to Fahrenheit perfectly. What did I say it is right now?
33.
30 feels like 33. So we'll go 33.
D. White says YTT is
So it's
going to
90.
leave you a sticky note on your desk tonight, Maddie.
As I said, it's getting locked. It's getting locked. This isn't going to happen. No one's getting into. I'm tired of people going to my office.
Nobody goes in there.
After 1 year of EST, my office is now going to become the locked office, and it's. I come in, I'll unlock it.
You're
every time I
elitist.
leave. You damn right, I'm elitist. That's why I have an office. I need to get a sign on it, a coup sign or something, or even on my desk. Maybe that's year 2 projects for me there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Zach's going to work on trying to get the sound of Ryan Holt going, and we'll bring
Holt's
him
ready.
on as we'll talk some Bakersfield Condors with him momentarily here. And then maybe a little bit later in the oil stream, we will also look at there was something I found on Reddit when it comes to possible changes.
Okay, yeah, I like this.
I'd
and
love to.
We'll
We
get
could
on
discuss that a little bit
Tease
after.
it a little
Ideas,
bit, please.
of things that you would. It was posted on Reddit, and it just was. You could have 3 of these things. What would you take? But we could go through what we'd like out of that list and what we don't. Portions of this hour are brought to you by Boston Pizza. Their summer menu is now here, offered in restaurant, takeout, and delivery for a limited time. It includes the pizza flight. You could get the truffle mushroom burger, the summer pesto chicken pizza, the fish tacos. It's all there. The summer menu at Boston Pizza. Check it out right now. And then that pizza flight again. You pick 3 of pizzas that you want. And those are the flights, 6 inches then. So they have so many good choices. You just pick 3 that you want. You get the flight.
Yeah. What is it? The hot sauce one is really good. Anyway, it has Frank's Red Hot on it. A couple of texts coming in. Big Dave says, if Trev wants help with that AC, I'll give him a hand.
That's very kind.
Oh, there's Holty.
Why could we hear him?
I can hear him.
He was back on. He was back on. Get him.
I could hear him.
We just heard him last second then.
Yeah.
Now we just started hearing you apparently. So
Yeah.
if you wanted, it's weird.
Yeah, that was a little weird.
That was weird.
We just heard him at
Yeah.
the last moment, so we'll get him on right there. Have you ever installed something like an AC? Did you ever have an AC, or did you, like your old place? Did you have AC?
Yeah, we had AC at my old place. It was. I just had to change the thermostat and the filter. And that was it.
I have to change my filter. I haven't done that
I
in a
had
little
mine
bit.
done. Oh, I can
we're
hear
starting to hear him. We're starting to hear him.
Ooh.
It looks like Zach got this figured
Oh,
out.
you
we'll
are.
bring you on right away, and then we'll have you. But we could hear you at the moment. You're just not on the air. Zach's just gonna center you in the frame, and you can send him over, Zach, whenever he's ready to go. There we go. We got Ryan back on.
Hey.
We got this working. We're up here like 91 degrees Fahrenheit, which is pretty hot for people here. What's it like for you guys right now in Bakersfield?
It's 110 Fahrenheit.
Ooh.
Which I think is 45 Celsius. What, double and add 32, right? Something like it's hot.
Yeah.
But actually, like if you're in the shade, it's not bad. Like I always tell people, it's a dry heat. I mean, I know Tommy's been in Arizona all the time.
Mhm.
Like and I was just back in Boston. Like 85 and muggy is worse, I think, than 110.
Yeah.
I can deal with 110 if you're in the shade, but
Yeah.
it's hot.
I love that.
41.
That's good.
Celsius.
It's 41?
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds perfect to me.
Yeah.
I love that heat. I think probably around the 45 is when I'd stop.
Holty's right about the dry heat down there. And then, when you go out east and you get the humidity, it just messes with you.
Well, you feel like you need a shower as soon as you walk outside.
Exactly.
Two shirts a day minimum, for sure.
Yeah. It's nasty. Holty, what's going on in Bakeville? Like, are you hanging out just laying on the ice, or did they take it out because you're at the rink?
No, they take it out. We're full bore. Our schedule just came out last week, so we're full bore on the marketing side of things and planning side of things and promotional side of things. Which is the underlying part of my position, I guess. Most people know me from broadcasting the games, which is the fun part of my job. But I think for us, a lot of the planning that goes into the year happens, this time. So ticket sales and group sales and promotional nights. Our arena is actually undergoing some renovations right now too. All the seats are being ripped out.
Nice.
We're having 8,500 new seats put in, 2 new premium areas, a couple new video board type LED boards. So some improvements here from the lease that was signed last year and put into action this year. So it's a busy time, as every offseason is. Every offseason has kind of its different character, I guess, if you will, and this is ours this year.
I want to ask Holty this because I've been down there, I've seen games, and the setup is nice, the arena is nice. To hear it's getting some love and improvements is great. You always want to stay at the forefront of creature features and all of that. But Holty, how would you describe Bakersfield as a hockey market, because it is called Condors Town for a reason, and this predates the AHL arriving and the Oilers being an affiliate?
Yeah, I think we've said this going back for years, but we don't necessarily have hockey fans, we have Condors fans. And that's changed throughout the course, certainly since I've been here. certainly since the Oilers purchases back in 2013. And I think this past year, seeing the Oilers get to the Stanley Cup final with half the roster being former Condors, I think is only going to help us, moving forward. We got a lot of casuals watching hockey and Stanley Cup final. And hey, I just saw him in Bakersfield a couple of weeks ago, or I saw him last year. And I think that's great. Post pandemic, we've had a lot of, young arrivals from the LA area and from San Francisco area, looking for more affordable areas of California, which is kind of a misnomer. But, I think, we've got a great thing here. It's we're a big fish in a small pond, but the pond's getting bigger, and it's a small town feel, but is a big city itself, so I think it's a great spot for, the upcoming Oilers and guys who are going to cut their teeth here in Bakersfield.
Let's look at one of the trades that happened recently for the Oilers. They did move on from Xavier Bourgault, sending him to the Sens. What did you see from Bourgault this season with the Condors?
Yeah, I would say, I think it's good for Xavier to get a fresh start. I think, I think he had a terrific rookie season. He had a lot of promise, I thought, going into last year. I remember, the confidence that he had coming into the season. And then he had injuries throughout the course of the year. And I think it just, like we've seen from a lot of guys, it just derailed the year for him. And I don't think he was happy about the season. I don't know if the management was happy about the season or the trajectory of him. So I think this is an opportunity for him to get a fresh start in an organization where, let's face it, Ottawa's in a position right now where they're going to be able to use guys like Bourgault moving forward, maybe earlier than the Oilers would use him. Mm-hmm. And I think that's beneficial for him. Wish him the best. He's a great kid. He's mild mannered. He's a little on the quiet side, but I always say, he came into the organization and, did what was asked of him. Did it go the way he probably envisioned in year two? Probably not, but hopefully, he can have success and hopefully, much like, Roby coming into the organization, he can build off what he did last year. He's a point per game guy in the AHL. I know he's been injured the last couple seasons, but I think this is a win-win on both sides from a player perspective and from an organization perspective.
Ryan Holt joining us now, voice of the Bakersfield Condors, as we're in the deep throes of the offseason. Holty, you mentioned Roby Järventie, who the Oilers just picked up in that trade for Xavier Bourgault, as well as likely Matt Savoy joining the Condors, because it is a pretty stacked roster right now up here in Edmonton going into the season. For those two guys, and I know Järventie had a major knee surgery, and he's looking to get back on the ice, first of all, before getting up to game speed at the AHL level. But for those two guys, it is good to restock the shelves, A, but B, when they get their opportunities in Bakersfield, how could you see potentially Colin Chalk implementing them into the lineup to make sure that they are getting the necessary development they need?
Yeah, I think, anybody can look at the track record the last couple of years. And, I think the players who have been successful here in Bakersfield have earned it. They've earned their opportunity. And you look at even some of I'll use the word fringe players who have gone up to Edmonton and spent significant time with the Oilers. James Hamlin's an example. Vinny Desharnais is a perfect example. Mm-hmm. They fit a need for the Edmonton Oilers. That's not 22 minutes a night in Edmonton. I think you have to be comfortable with that, at max 10 minutes a night. I remember, when Tyler Benson was here, he became a penalty killer purely because he knew he was getting no power play time at Edmonton, and let me try and kill penalties. Same thing with James Hamlin. Same thing with Ryan McLeod when he was here.
Right.
Yes, he was getting all the power play time in the world, but at the Oilers level, he's a penalty killer. So how can I work on those tools? How can I work on that trade moving forward? Because that's what I'm going to get for the opportunity. Raphael Lavoie is the perfect case study right now because he's kind of the one caught in the middle right now. He's an elite player at this level offensively. He's a man among boys most nights. These are guys that are going to push at the next level. But what is their role with the Oilers? And I think the AHL staff does a great job preparing whatever role is going to be at the NHL level, you're going to get more opportunity. Obviously, here in Bakersfield, Dylan Holloway was playing 20 minutes a night.
Right.
He's not doing that in Edmonton. But you have to make the most of your opportunity. And one thing Colin Jock stressed to a lot of the young guys is I think it's the story of Tom Brady, and how when he was practicing originally as the backup, he would get 4 reps or 5 reps. And you had to make those reps count to get 10 reps, to get 15 reps, to become the starter. And I think that's what's been built here. Keith Gretzky talks about earning the jersey all the time. That's the message. You're going to get an opportunity, make the most of it. And guys like Savoy and Roby are going to be given every chance in the world. First-round picks and high draft picks are going to be given every chance in the world to begin with. It's what you do with those opportunities that's going to make you successful.
This season, obviously, Oilers fans, they saw him produce in the playoffs when it comes to Broberg and Holloway. But for you, what was the growth you saw from them over the course of the regular season with the Commodores from the start of last year towards the end? How did they improve as players in your eyes?
Yeah, Broberg was confidence, right? I think, and again, he's a quiet, unassuming type of defenseman. He's not a guy who's this big personality. And, so I think when he came down the first time, I think he was a little on edge a little bit. He wanted to be in the NHL. He thought he was going to be there full time. Mm-hmm. He wasn't. When he came down the second time, he wanted to dominate. Like, he wanted to force someone's hand and say, listen, I'm an NHL defenseman. And to be honest with you, for the last half of the season, he was an NHL defenseman playing in the American Hockey League. Again, I'm not a scout. I don't know these type of things, but he was as good a defenseman as you'll see in this league. Dylan Holloway, same type of thing. Whether it was injuries or whether it was opportunity, he wasn't getting that at the NHL level. They made some trades, some salary cap implications. He knew that he was going to get his chance at the NHL, but he wanted to make sure that it was earned and not given. And again, he was as dominant as we've seen him the second half of the year. Speed for days, creativity for days, Hollywood type of personality. I mean, this kid is a stud in my mind. And I'm happy to see him have the success. I think injuries kind of delayed him a little bit, but he's arrived. Broberg's arrived, and that's what you want, I think, out of your high-end picks that have developed over the last couple of years.
Yeah, and that's a credit to the organization and a sign that drafting and developing does actually occur in this organization, much to the chagrin or
It's not what I hear on Tommy. It's not what I hear on Twitter and read on Twitter.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you picked up on that, Holty.
Nobody's developing. Nobody's developing.
They don't draft anyone.
And to be honest with you, too, I mean, they've traded away a lot of the draft picks.
Yes.
That's
true.
You look at first rounders and, Reed Schaefer would be in Bakersfield if it's not for Matthias Ekholm. Mm-hmm. And, first rounders this year, like, these are impacts that are going to be felt 2-3 years down the road when we're looking at who's coming to the organization. Oh, well, we got rid of the first rounder, but it was to help the NHL team, which is developing in a sense. So, yeah, it is.
But yeah, you see the same messages we do, Holty. I want to ask you.
And listen, I'm happy for the San Diegos and the San Jose's of the world. They have a bunch of first round picks.
Yeah,
and it's really cool and awesome. And they have 60 points in the standings every year. So I don't know what the balance is. So,
well, winning at the top is usually pretty good.
I would think so.
Okay, you mentioned Keith Gretzky and the earning the jersey, and that as soon as you said that, I'm like, yeah, that sounds like Keith, all right. But I see him on a professional level, and I see how he handles NHL guys, and I've seen him around his Condors guys that get the call up, and the type of person he is around them. I know Keith well. I've seen him away from the professional side of the game, and where he can kind of let loose and just be Keith. Both are tremendous people. He's a great guy. His name has been mentioned as the potential GM around here. There are some viable candidates. We were just talking off the hop at the start of the show that, Sheldon Kennedy talking about Stan Bowman going through the rehabilitation process and all that. What does that mean? Edmonton's name gets thrown in the mix. Maybe there's smoke there. We don't know. Time will tell. But to focus in on Keith, he moved down to Bakersfield. He's overseeing this team. It's him day to day, along with Colin Chalk and the rest of the staff. what can you say about Keith Gretzky and his ability to run a team and have those relationships? And what would you tell people that are like, why Keith Gretzky? This is straight up nepotism, because Keith is very well aware of what comes with his name.
I think I would say this. So it was the 2019 playoffs. We were in San Diego, and Ken Holland was hired during that time while we were in the postseason, our most successful season. We made a great run. It was an awesome time to be in the organization. Keith was an assistant GM at the time, and obviously in the running for when Ken got the job. And
right.
I think Keith put his ego aside. I'll use the word ego. To realize what the betterment of the team was. Mm-hmm. And for him to keep the same role, feel like maybe, I was passed over, and yet do a bang up job of here's my new duties and here's my responsibility. And he uses the word, and we put it on shirts this year for the whole organization, players, coaches, staff, management, arena, everybody that is kind of tied to us. And it's one team. And that came from Keith. That came from, no matter your title, position, whatever it may be, myself, he's included me in everything. And I'm fortunate because that's not every organization. It's not, and I know it.
Yes, very fair.
From the radio guy, or from the broadcaster, from the PR or the president. Some organizations, it's completely separate. It's not here.
Yep.
Keith will come up and spend time in our sales office and just honestly, shoot the crap with everybody. And, I think he's very humble. And I think, you bring up the name. He doesn't work to shed the name. I think he's obviously proud of who he is, and
of course
who his family is, and who his dad and his mom are. But I think he realized he's had to work extra hard, and he's earned everything. I mean, Boston and Arizona, and now here in Edmonton. His fingerprints are over a lot of what happened this year in Edmonton. From a player development standpoint, he found James Hamlin. He helped bring on Vinny Desharnais and helped get the confidence for Ryan McLeod and Dylan Holloway and Broby. I'm not privy to what's going on in Edmonton, but if it's Keith Gretzky as the GM, I'd be fine with it. I'd miss seeing him every day, but
yeah,
I think he's awesome. He's a great person to deal with, like you said, off the ice, on the ice, and proud to call him a colleague and a friend.
Yeah, has he actually taken you golfing? Because he said to me, "We'll go golfing," and that was like 5 years ago. Still hasn't happened.
I think he's coming to Edmonton. I think he's on vacation this week, but I think he has to touch back up in Edmonton and come back. But
yeah, I don't like my chances.
So you might want to hit him up. He might be golfing up there.
No.
But we've golfed.
Yeah,
look at that.
Look at that.
I could share where we've golfed, but I'd rather not.
That sounds
Let's just say
right.
I shouldn't be on the course.
Well, Ryan.
I was going to just ask. Hey, okay, one more, and I love that. Don't worry, I think I'm doing a hockey school coming up here with Keith soon, so I'll be all over him. He only needs me when he needs luggage brought back to Edmonton. That's all I'm good for. I'm his valet.
He does bring me back Wayne's Gretzky cream. I got to remind him.
It's good stuff.
The salted caramel whiskey cream, which is, I don't know if this is an endorsement, but it's perfect for your morning coffee.
It is great. We've got a
we
bottle
enjoy that
sitting
around
on
here.
our shelf over here. Yeah,
it is outstanding.
Holty, after everything you've seen with what Jeff Jackson, Keith Gretzky, Bill Scott, Brad Holland have done, Rick Pracey included, with drafting and then bringing guys on, what do you foresee for the Condors? I know it's super early, but coming up this next season, because there are some vets that will still be around, although Brad Malone has moved on. With the mix of new guys and the vets that'll be there, what kind of season do you foresee coming up for Bakersfield?
Yeah, I think the story going into it is Ollie Rodrigue, from my perspective, is, he's the next wave, right? And, he's going to be given every opportunity to, be the number one. He's been a top 8 goaltender in the league the last 2 years. That's splitting half of both seasons. Can he kind of take the ball in the rain and run with it? I think defensively, Max Warner is obviously the lone draft developed, kind of young defenseman on the back end, but he's sheltered with a lot of really good tweener defensemen, Cam Dineen, Ben Gleason, Phil Kemp, Connor Carrick comes into the organization, whether he sticks in Edmonton or not. These are big-time guys for the AHLs. I say AHL plus, right? Like you get caught in that no man's land of where to go. And then up front, if Savoy ends up here, that's a huge boost for us. I mean, how do you not say that? I mean, he's, an elite, gifted player up front, first round, high draft pick. He's our guy, know, and I think having guys like Lavoie, guys like Seth Griffith around a guy like him is huge. And I'm excited to see the Matvei Petrovs of the world. Their second season, young kid, was injured this past year, but showed glimpses of what it took, at this level. A healthy James Hamlin, Noah Philp coming back in the organization. There's a lot of guys who, are they playing 25 minutes in Edmonton this year? No. But are they playing 7-8 minutes, killing penalties and leading to, the best penalty kill that, the league's ever seen in the postseason? Maybe, and I think that's the exciting part. And I think the exciting part is you don't have to rush anybody because you're stocked at the NHL level. So I think, it's exciting for us because you might keep a lot of the guys throughout the course of the year, but there's some good storylines going into it. Ollie Rodriguez, the number one storyline for me. And then obviously if Savoy gets here, can he become an elite offensive player at this level, rookie leader in the American Hockey League, I think would be the story.
Perfect. Well, Ryan, stay cool out there. Stay cool. Find a way
We'll
to stay
try.
cool, man.
Hey, 805s for everybody. We'll trade you 6 o'clock or lager for 805. How does that sound?
Is that their beer down there?
Yeah,
I need
it's
a
awesome.
lager. I'll trade some 805s, and if you threw in a bottle of the Gretzky cream across the border, I wouldn't hate you.
We can
Send
make
them
that
some
happen.
birdie booze too.
Yeah, birdie booze. We have birdie booze now, Holty.
It's good for the golf course. It's
Yeah.
good for the golf course out there.
Whatever you need, I'm in.
Beautiful.
Thanks, Ryan, and for the time, and enjoy the rest of your Friday here.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Have a good weekend.
There's Ryan Holt. He's the voice of the Bakersfield Condors down in California.
Just an awesome dude and a great broadcaster. Glad to get him on.
It was nice. It was nice to get a little bit of an update.
And he knows, like, he downplays it, but Holty knows the game. He's a Boston kid. He knows hockey inside out. Like, so
Boston kid. I didn't know that.
He's a Boston kid. Don't let
really
him
don't
fool
hear that
you. He
accent
knows
or
the
anything
game
like that.
very, very well.
Portions of this hour of the Oil Stream, they are brought to you by the 2024 Holinka Gretzky Tournament, which is coming to Edmonton this summer. Rogers Place will host the best U18 hockey players in the world, August 5th through the 10th. 7-game, 14-game ticket packs are now available. HolinkaGretzkyCup.ca or Ticketmaster.ca as well. We'll have to grab someone else for the show on Monday, because I think I'm doing the show with you on Monday as well.
Sure. Yeah, we can get
We'll
some.
have to figure out what we want to do, who we want to talk to, and get another guest on Monday. Because Dusty got the game on Sunday. He's got BC Calgary. It's Wally Buono night.
Yeah, that's good.
And so then he comes back on Monday. So
Wally Buono night, long overdue. I thought he would have been honored by the Stamps a long time ago.
Well, you can't honor him while he's with the Lions, I guess.
Yeah.
And then maybe you got to let time pass.
Didn't they honor him with the Lions already? Like they
Did
put him in
I'm
the
assuming
Hall
the
of
Lions would have done it
Fame?
already.
Yeah. Is he more of a Lion or a Stamp? And then on top of that, like people who remember him from his playing days know him as an Alouette, right?
He's a Lion to me.
Yeah.
I remember when we went to Stamps, but I also remember the big move to BC, and he really built that up. And I don't know, in the end, was there bad blood in him leaving? I don't know.
With Calgary?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like
he
him-
left in 01? 02.
02. He was that coach from 1990 to 2002.
Yeah, I know.
It's a long time with the
Right.
Stamps. That's longer than I thought.
That's why
3
when
Grey Cups with them. But I guess the majority of that is when I was too young, whereas he started there before I was born. So maybe that's why I think of him more as a Lion.
I remember him in 93 with the Stampeders when the Eskimos at the time beat them in the West Final. It was super cold. Doug Flutie's hands were frozen. He was at the heater the whole game. I think it was Sean Fleming kicked the winning field goal.
He went to 9 Grey Cups.
Yeah, I do remember.
5.
Was it 98 or 2001 where they had that? I think it was 98. Was it Marcus Crandall?
No, 2001, 8 and 10 season.
That one,
8
yeah.
and 10.
Yeah,
Went
yeah.
in,
That was before Henry
that's-
Burris.
They took down the Bombers, I think. And that was like the good Bombers team, which like you go to them, like, how did the Bombers not win a Grey Cup with Kahari Jones, Milt Stiegel,
Yep.
Charles Roberts as
Yep.
their...
They were great.
main three guys of offense.
But yeah, we can get somebody for Monday.
Yeah, we'll have to figure out where we want to go for that.
Sure.
Yeah, volleyball no nights. Yeah, you're stuck with me that day.
That's fine.
I also might be on the lock shop, recapping the CFL weekend.
Okay.
Let's get to this little question.
Zach's got.
So we got about 20 minutes. I sent him the picture.
Good.
I saw this on Reddit. How it was done on Reddit was, you could send that picture over, Zach. For those watching on YouTube, this is the Oil Stream. Iwanyk, Tom Gazzola with you here on EdmontonSportsTalk.com, tune in, iHeartRadio, as well as those on watching on YouTube. And if you're on YouTube, you're seeing the graphic up there right now. I have taken this from Reddit. There's 11 options here, and it said on Reddit, like, pick 3 that you would want to have. I'm gonna say 2 maybe.
Okay.
But what the options are, if you could change the NHL with any of these 11 things, what would you go with? 1 is a shorter or longer regular season. 2 is 10-minute overtimes. 3 is remove the OT loser point. 4, remove offside reviews. 5, just sell the TV rights to one streaming service. 6, allow games to end in a tie. 7 is just remove the shootouts. 8, remove the salary cap. 9 is go to a 1-8 playoff format. It says return to 1-8, but the NHL's never actually had a true 1-8 playoff format that I'm aware of. 10, add a play-in round for teams ranked 8 through 10. 11, replace cross-conference games with more inter-division games. Tommy, as you look at that,
1 or 2?
what would be, I'd say 2.
2,
If you could go with 2 of those, where would you be looking at?
I would take away the offside review. And okay, the one I know for sure, I'm gonna just strike that from the record. The one I would take away,
Take?
or put in is I would put in remove shootout, and it just goes till it ends 3-on-3.
3-on-3 till it ends?
Yeah. Because it doesn't take long for these guys, as we've seen. Sometimes you need more than 5 minutes, but I think so. Like the 10-minute overtime or remove, I would just flat out remove the shootout, let them go till they score, and I think the game would still end relatively quickly. We're not getting epic overtimes like we do in the playoffs. And then if, like Pagnotta said, the NHL is expanding eventually to 36 teams. Yes, you heard it, 36, not just 34. I wouldn't mind add the play-in round for teams ranked 8 to 12.
The Lakers have benefited from that in the NBA the last couple of years.
Well,
I
they're
don't like
in-season
it.
champions.
I don't like it. I don't know.
It's weird. But
It's
I
one
think
thing
it would
about.
be a good way to do it.
I like limiting how many teams make the playoffs. To me, go earn it in the regular season. And right now, with 32 teams now, it's half the teams make the playoffs.
I know.
I don't need more because part of this.
It used to be like 4/5 of the teams made the playoffs.
I right off the bat, number 1 is for me the shorter regular season. The longer part could go away.
Yeah.
To me, I would love a perfect number being like 62, 64 games, 65 games like that one year we had a couple years ago. That to me is a perfect number. It elevates the regular season games. It makes the regular season games matter just a little bit more. And then for that, then you could add that would be the way you add then the play-in for the 8 through 12. Mm-hmm. To balance, because the schedule's way too long. I don't know how the NHL would fit in a play-in tournament with how long this season goes at the moment right now. The Stanley Cup won't be awarded until July now.
Yeah,
that would be the one thing with that. A nasty chat. Some people, a lot of people are looking towards the number 3, which is remove the OT loser point.
I don't mind that actually.
Go to the 3-point system. However, that fully works. 3 for a regulation win, 2 for an overtime win. 1 for a shootout win, and no points if you lose in overtime or shootout, maybe, or ever. However,
I'm not. I'm so used to the loser point. I don't like it.
You pointed out this year with Boston when we were going into the playoffs that they were the master of the OT point.
Yeah, they had like 15 OTLs, and they went to OT I think 23 times, maybe even more. And that's why I asked, is Boston legit this year? Are they what they were the year before? They weren't further in the playoffs this year than they did when they had that record-setting regular season a year ago. But it was those OTLs that I feel like inflated their perception of, this team's legit. And they were at the top of the division in the Atlantic for a bit. So these are good. Like, these are really good.
There's a few people that want the streaming service. Chris, remove offside review, and then sell TV rights to a streaming service. 1 through 8 playoffs with his top 3. Adding, I hate Rogers Sportsnet blackouts. If you could pay $20 for hockey, I would cancel my TV subscription. I don't know if the NHL is in a position that it would do well being on one platform.
Yeah,
that's the issue. They're not big enough. Hockey isn't big enough. Like, if the NFL chose to instead just do a streaming service now, one platform, that's all they're going to do.
No problem.
People would just buy that one platform. They'd do well.
Yep.
I don't even feel like the NBA could do it either. MLS is on just Apple TV globally. If you have Apple TV, I think globally you could watch MLS.
Is it doing well?
I don't think it's the right move. They have a couple of, like, I think they'll play some games on Fox. In Canada, there's an agreement that TSN plays some games.
Okay. But their numbers weren't particularly great, even when they were on national broadcasts in the U.S. and Canada.
If all of a sudden we're saying the NHL is exclusively on Amazon Prime,
I think you're going to turn a lot of people away. There are those
you'd have to
that
find
don't
some
have
sort of
Prime.
the TV deal.
Yeah.
To show those games on TV. There's a reason the NHL went to TNT and ESPN. You may disagree with who they went with, like the ESPN notably, but there's a reason the NFL's on every network.
Smart. Spread it out.
Spread it out.
Pay a premium.
Make them all pay a premium. It's more accessible. You're all over the place. And also, to a degree, it's for the NFL especially, you have control over those networks.
I love the way you describe it. So the way you sum it up with the NFL is they sign 1-year deals, right?
They don't sign 1-year deals.
Oh,
that's the Masters. The Masters does that, where they sign 1-year deal. No one knows the full deals because it's so secretive. And no one CBS does not want it to be publicly known because the Masters will get upset. Augusta will get upset and move the rights somewhere else.
Yes.
No, the NFL is, you're saying bad things about the commish?
That's right.
They'll pick up the phone and go, excuse me?
Exactly.
We'll take our rights off of you in a few years. We have no problem with that. We'll go somewhere else. And all those networks are scared to not have the NFL. The NHL's not fully there.
Doesn't have that power.
But you want those eyeballs. It's the problem the Canadian Football League has. They're only on one network. They need to be on multiple networks.
Yeah.
That's why the one streaming service, not fully on board with that one.
It's interesting. 11, I think I saw Johnny Alberta talking about it. I'm all for number 3, win and loss, almost like every sport. But Johnny Alberta mentioned something about replace cross-conference games with more interdivision games. They've a couple of these they tried before. I remember there was 8 games against your divisional rivals at one point.
There was a point where you didn't see everyone from the other conference.
Yeah, I did not like that. I like seeing every team in the league at least twice a year. I have a certain appreciation for that.
Well, what happens if we go to 36?
Then I don't know. That's math, and I hate
70 games. 70 of 82 games will be played with playing everyone twice. That leaves only 12 games left
You make them
to play
premiums.
within your conference or your division.
Yeah.
You need to play more of your divisional games. I don't know how they'll do divisions at 36.
Well, here's the other thing that popped up.
We're going to 9-4 division.
But hang on. Here's what flew under the radar. There's talk of
36.
expanding back to 84 games too.
Oh, don't go more.
I know. And the reason why,
don't need more.
number one, shorter/longer regular season, I get that, and that is ideal because it can be a drag. We know that, and we know they'll never do it because of money. But yeah, there was talk about going back to 84 games, which the league did briefly, I think, for 2 seasons in the 90s.
No.
Yeah.
I don't want it. It's too many. It's too much hockey, and it just makes the
lot of
regular
hockey.
season more meaningless. No. When are we going to award this cup?
These billion-dollar checks that are being cut to the NHL that's being dispersed among the owners are welcomed.
I know,
open
but
arms
it's very
by the
short-term,
owners.
short-sighted.
It
It's very
is.
short-sighted. It's a way for the owners to make a bunch of cash right now and not have to give it to the players.
Yep.
But hockey is going to suffer in the end. We won't have good quality hockey.
That's fair. Totally fair. Can you imagine? And every time Pagnotta says it on Hello Hockey, I'm like, jeez.
Why do we know the cities?
36.
It's going to be Houston. It's going to be New Orleans. It's going to be Atlanta. And Arizona. I could see it being Arizona.
If you're looking for a Coyotes jersey, the team
Goodwill.
store, the team had to buy all the gear back from the team store, and they donated it to Arizona Goodwill. So go check it out. I think East Valley and West Valley if you're going back down to Phoenix anytime soon, which oddly enough I am next week. So
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You're going down for
maybe I'll find one.
2 weeks. Week
2
and a
weeks,
half or
pardon
so.
me, yes.
Well, when do you leave?
29th. So 10
Oh,
days.
so yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody's saying the Oilers preseason schedule is up on their website.
Oh, good. What
I'm
do we
pulling
got?
up right now. 8 games.
Of course 8 games. What do you guys expect? Of course they're going to play 8. I bet 4 plus at home.
I'll say this. If you drop the preseason down to 4 games, I'll give you 84-game regular season.
They're never going to do that. September
22nd, home to Winnipeg. September 23rd, 2 games in Calgary, home to Calgary. So it's that split squad on the 23rd. 25th in Winnipeg. 28th, home to Seattle. 30th, home to Vancouver. 2nd at Seattle. 4th at Vancouver. September 22nd through October 4th. There is your preseason schedule. No.
What was crazy is some of those games we found out about because Calgary and Winnipeg dropped their preseason schedules during the Stanley Cup final. And I tweeted it out there like, well, we know when the Oilers preseason starts, and they still had like 3 games in the playoffs left to play, so it was crazy. Fun show today. Fun show. Fun day. A good Friday around here.
My day's not done. Green and Gold kickoff show,
Yeah.
4 o'clock. Myself, Jay Mills, Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge. Every day is game day, just off Fort Road. Cheese and jalapeno smoky on special, $14 with those waffle fries. It is the quesadilla is the daily special for $10.99 as well. 4 o'clock live right here on Edmonton Sports Talk on TuneIn, on iHeartRadio, as well as on YouTube. Or you can come down to Century Casino. I think Atif's going to be there. Ken's going to be there. T-Roy's going to be there. No one else from EST apparently is going to be there because no one wants to hang out with Jay and myself.
I'm sorry, what?
Maybe Renee also make an appearance, one of those rare appearances during the Green and Gold kickoff show. Likes to visit Tommy when he's doing pre and post games. He's always there with Eric for NFL, but once again, Jay and I, we'll see. But no, it'll be a good time. Wall of TVs, so we'll be able to watch the Edmonton Elks game tonight. So we'll have that covered for you right here on Edmonton Sports Talk tomorrow. It is the final edition of the 2023-24 NHL season of Hello Hockey.
Yes.
Tommy, Sean Bell with you two, Trev here at the studio.
Derek Laxdal, new head coach of the Coachella Valley Firebirds. James Hamlin, who we heard Holty talking about, will join us, and a couple more. Pagnotta will be around as well. So we've got a few great guests on our last show, and it'll be a lot of fun. Belsy loves going into the deep off season. I think we could have been done like 2 weeks ago, but one last one. We're going to be live on location at local public eatery Jasprav if you want to come down and join us.
Golf show.
Tomorrow. Or
We'll
Sunday.
be on Sunday, 8 o'clock. Amongst the guests, Meg Polson,
all right.
Glacier Greens Golf Club. She's going to start off the show, but Murray Curtis Stock, they'll be live right here on Edmonton Sports Talk at 8 o'clock. We'll also have some Riverhawks action for you this weekend as well. And then Monday, it's Lieutenant Eric, it's Walkie Engage, it's YouTube Trev. They will have the morning shows. We're back with our weekday programming. It's the lead up to the Nasty Bash on Friday. If you want to get on the Nasty Bash, Matt at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Send me an email. I will get in touch with you. To everyone that I've got in touch with, I will send out the official invite, hopefully at some point later tonight. But yeah, it's Nasty Bash next week. And before you know it, it's going to be August.
Just relax. Relax.
The summer's flying.
Let's enjoy the next 12 days of July.
To everyone out there, stay cool. Find a way to stay cool. Century Casino is actually very cool, so you can come on down for that. And for those that like the heat like myself, get in that sun as much as you can. And a reminder for the Riverhawks game, it is bumped up to 10:30 on Sunday. Yeah, it's usually 1 o'clock on Sundays, but they've bumped it to 10:30 just because of how hot it is going to be. Thanks to everyone for tuning in to the Oil Stream today. Thank you to Ryan Holt for joining us, Bakersfield Condors play-by-play. Zach, great job behind the camera over there. On behalf of Tommy, I'm Matt. Have a great rest of your Friday. I will talk with you in a few hours with the Green and Gold Kickoff Show live from Century Casino.